Usually on this channel, it's been a lot of Call of Duty content, but sometimes I do some IRL videos and different things like that. But for today's video, what I've been dealing with the last week and a half, as you guys can tell by the title, um, my dad, he passed away last week. I think it's been over a week now. And for me, I there's a lot to unpack here. And I think, a lot of people maybe watch this can relate in a sense of they lost their dad or they are a dad and they feel some type of way. And I think for this video, for me, while I'm doing this video, I think it almost doesn't feel real. Like if you know me personally for a long time, my dad has been on this channel. He's been on my streams. You may have met him when he was with me in person. Um, but the reason why I want to do this video, for me, this is almost like, I wouldn't really call it therapy, but like, I just want to just chop it up, man, and kind of tell y'all about my pops, man, and kind of just tell y'all who he was and kind of just talk, man. I don't really want to sit on stream and talk about it over and over again. I made a post about it on social media, but honestly, just want to talk, man, just kind of brag about my pops and kind of where my headspace is at and a lot of things that are going on. So last week, I was recording videos, normal day. And this is the craziest part for me is that, so my dad, he passed away on Monday. So I woke up Tuesday morning last week and I never felt asserting sadness or grief. I've never felt it in my entire life. It was like I woke up. I didn't have any news. I didn't know what was going on. I just woke up just genuinely sad. I couldn't figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I was, something was bothering me all day. I just couldn't figure it out. It didn't make any sense. I've never felt this in my life. Maybe some of you guys have felt this as well. That's why I feel like me and my pops were very connected on a spiritual level. I felt like a part of me was just like almost gone. You know what I'm saying? I think I felt a part of me was almost gone and I didn't know what it was. So with me and my dad's relationship, my dad was the best dad ever, man. He would text me every single morning without fail. Good morning, son. I love you. If you're a parent in here watching this video, which I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who are, one of the best things my dad ever did was just text me every morning. Sometimes, honestly, I'd be so busy, I'd forget to respond just because it'd be early in the morning and there's like 90 things going on. But he would text me without fail. Whether I responded or not, he would text the very next day. So I think one thing I can say is if you're a parent, I think reaching out to your child and telling them every day you love them, regardless of what's going on, there's problems or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I think that was one of the best things my dad ever did for me. And I remember I was having the weirdest day ever. Like I just felt sad. And usually when I feel sad, like I'll usually text my dad. He hadn't hit me back. He didn't text me back. And when I went back to go look, I just immediately knew, like my heart just knew something was wrong. And I've never felt that before in my life. I never felt really that connected or like as far as like, and I knew something was wrong. I don't really want to get to the full details as far as what transpired kind of after that, but I just knew, like I knew something was wrong. I knew I could feel my pops wasn't on earth no more. Soon enough, they did a welfare check, you know what I'm saying? And they just said like it looked like he went to sleep. Right now, the feeling that I have is I feel like I'm robbed. My dad was full of life. We were starting a business together. You know what I'm saying? Like he just had dinner with my family on Sunday. And one of the biggest realizations I realized last week while I was dealing with everything was how fast life moves. Sunday, my dad had dinner with the fam. They said everything was fine. He was completely okay. Monday, he passes. Tuesday, they find him. Thursday, I'm signing his death certificate. And I think for me, it hit so hard because it was just like a week hadn't even went by. Like it just didn't make sense. I feel like I'm robbed right now. Like it doesn't feel real. Like it doesn't feel real because my dad it wasn't. It's different. Like if like, you know what I'm saying, he was battling health issues. You know what I'm saying? We're in the hospital. We're with him right there fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like it was none of that, man. He just simply went to sleep. And I think obviously that's obviously the most peaceful way you can go. But I just felt it really makes sense, man. And I it's hard for me to understand. I don't know. I kind of want to tell y'all just some of my favorite memories with me and my dad, and kind of just tell y'all the type of man he was, man. So one of the things that really had an impact on me when I was younger. If you don't know, I'm a triplet. So I'm a triplet. I have a brother and a sister. And so my dad was really hard on us when we were younger. And he always instilled from us from seventh grade until the end of high school. He would always sit there and say, he'd be like, hey, you either got to make this basketball thing work, go to college. And if you're not doing either of those things, you're going to the military. My dad was very, very set on, if you don't go to college, you are going to the military. And, shout out to anybody who served, anything like that. But I remember being a young bull, like I'm young, like, man, I'm not trying to dodge no bullets. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'll get good grades, you know? And so I think he was always kind of harping on that. And that kind of always made us like very self-aware when we were younger, as far as not wasting time when we're in high school, being very thorough. And I just always remember, like, it's just a funny memory because my pop, he was very hard on us. Because I think about it, you have to raise 3 kids at one time. I know a lot of parents in here who probably understand the difficulty of that, especially, like I'm saying, like, I mean, it was paycheck to paycheck. It wasn't like we were, you know what I'm saying? My parents made sure I had a roof over my head, food and stuff like that. But I mean, it's just one of those things that I have as a memory when I was young. And later in my life, some of my favorite memories with my dad that I've even put on Instagram and kind of maybe talked about on stream, but I took my dad to a Laker game. We went to a Laker game. We've gone to a lot. And he randomly got chosen out of everybody in that stadium. It was a playoff game, sold out, to shoot the half-court shot. You know, everyone shoots the half-court shot at the end of the third quarter. It was like slow motion. Think about it. My dad's been a lifelong Laker fan for 40 years. He was a Laker fan for 40 years, bro.
It's all good.
And to be chosen to shoot the half-court shot in front of a sold-out crowd the synergy was crazy. I never know my dad to be nervous. I've never seen him nervous, but he was nervous for this. He ended up shooting the half-court shot. Great airballed it. But at the end of the day, he said that it was one of his favorite memories because you got to think about it, man. You got LeBron sitting there watching you doing a half-court shot. Your son's right there. You're a lifelong Laker fan in a sold-out crowd. And it was just one of those things where it was just so dope, man. Thinking about my dad was that every time I saw him or every time he was around our family or anytime he was around anybody, man, he was smiling. If you met him, he was smiling at you saying, yo, how's it going? Like, just always very positive. Always had a smile on his face. Whether he was going through something or not, he was always just happy and smiling. I think that's one of my favorite memories about him. Like, he was just, when I found out he had passed, it was just so hard for me to even imagine that, I just feel like I'm robbed, bro. I feel like I was robbed, you know, and I definitely believe that I will see him again, that he is in heaven, you know. But I think it just if you know me personally, you know how hard this is for me. I was just talking to someone who reached out to me over the weekend. Again, one of my favorite memories was my dad was there when we were shooting the cover for the cover of Sports Illustrated. You know, my dad told me, he sat down and said, yo, this is the craziest thing ever. Like, he said, yo, we're from a little small town in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? And our last name's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. My dad said, yo, Michael Jordan, Kobe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tiger Woods were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. But he said, like, my son is on the cover of that. This is the craziest thing ever. And I think I didn't really understand the gravity of it, but think about it as like, if my son was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, like how proud I'd be.
Like, imagine 10 years ago someone told you that I'd be on the cover for gaming. You'd have been picking me up off the floor. I would have been done it for basketball, but I am just so proud of him to be here. It's just, what an accomplishment to be on Sports Illustrated, the cover of it. So we're gonna have an exciting time. So I'm just glad to be here, guys.
It should be cool, man. I'm excited to get to meet Nick.
And I remember we went to dinner after, and it was me, Nick Merckx, his pops, my dad, and we just chopping it up. And it was one of the coolest moments as far as just like being in the moment, how happy he was, how much of a smile he was. It just didn't make any, it's one of my favorite memories, man. If anybody watching this video has like a GoFundMe or anything for as far as funeral services and things like that, tweet me, please. I would love to help out because I never really understood how much it costs, you know, for that entire process. And I can't imagine people who, you know, live paycheck to paycheck and that suddenly happens, how expensive it is. So just tweet me if you guys have any GoFundMes or anything like that. But I think the realization is is that whole process and kind of sitting there and signing that death certificate for my pops. It hits so hard because it's like people have a birth certificate, but people also have a death certificate, and to sign off on my dad like that, it's a jarring feeling. It's like, it's a universal experience we all have to, what I'm saying, physically go through. But I just feel like my pops wasn't ready, man. I just feel like he wasn't ready. I feel like he wasn't ready, man. Also, one of the coolest things I think my dad ever did for me as a man, and I think that I carry today, I think for me, is that he instilled, like, he taught me about God and my faith. And what I'm saying, I'm a Christian, so it's what I believe. Obviously, I'm not sitting here trying to convince anybody as far as, what I'm saying. I'm kind of just telling you my experience and how much my pops helped me in that way, because I've said this on stream before, but I think it's important for people to believe in something. How would I say it? I think it's better to be wrong about believing in something than to be right about believing in nothing, if that makes sense. To believe in nothing is just like, who wants to be right about that? As far as if I'll ever get to see my dad again and things like that, things after death, I feel like it's important to believe in something for sure. And one of the things my dad did, he was always funny with his disciplines, man. So what my dad did is, when we were kids, all three of us would be up in the morning. My mom worked night shift, so she would sleep during the day. My dad would go to work normal hours, but my mom worked graveyard, so she would sleep during the day. And for like 3 days in a row, for the first 3 days of summer, we just kept waking my mom up. We just kept waking her up, and she get pissed off. Remember, she told my dad. Remember what my dad did was, we were probably like 8 or 9. What my dad did is he said, open a Bible. He told us to turn to Proverbs. He said, I want you to write out a chapter a day. And that usually took hours for us. I mean, at 8 or 9 years old, he said, rewrite it and then tell me what it says. Looking back, it's just like a funny disciplinary thing, but it obviously instilled a lot of like faith in me and what I understand and in my beliefs. It does give me comfort as far as knowing I'm gonna see my dad again. You know what I mean? I know this right here is something that we genuinely all have to go through, right? As a man, this is probably the hardest thing I'll probably go through. For me, it hasn't felt real. And I know people watching this video, we're all gonna have to go through this. And it's just like crazy when you think about it, like the world just keeps spinning. That's what I thought when I'm sitting there a few days after, kind of just like taking it all in. You look on social media, the world just keeps spinning. You walk through the airport, some people are having the best days of their life. They're going on a trip they're excited about. And here I am dealing with, what I'm saying, one of the hardest things a man can go through. And if you just sit there and be like, yo, this is just insane, bro. It just keeps going. Like, it doesn't stop for anybody, no matter how popular you are, no matter how, what I'm saying? Like, it just keeps spinning. And for me, it almost feels like unfair. It feels unfair, like me and my dad were starting a business together. We were super excited. He would text me every day and the world just keeps spinning. Honestly, I'm gonna read a lot of comments as far as like, because maybe some people have had this experience. What helps you to get through the day? What it's like as far as like, how do you keep going? Because for me, like I said, I just feel like I was robbed of time with my dad. I think it's unfair. What I'm saying? I just wake up and keep going. Life is just wild because it's like, who would have known that would have been the last time I see my pops? The last time I saw my dad was probably 3 weeks ago. And it was my birthday. And when we went through his apartment over the weekend, like kind of gathering all his things, he had a birthday card for me that he never gave to me, but was going to give to me next time he saw me. And I opened the card and he said, yo, like, I'm excited to, come see you, like, dinner's on me next time I'm out there in LA. It's just like he'll never be able to go to my wedding. He'll never be able to meet my kids, It's a genuine tough pill to swallow, But my dad, he was always very supportive. One thing I could say about him with gaming was he didn't really understand gaming as much. I think the only video game he's ever played with me was NBA Live 01 back in the day, and he played like 2 games with me and used the Lakers against me, which is kind of unfair. But what I'm saying, throughout everything, he was always invested. I think that's one thing about my dad is he didn't understand anything, but like he was so tapped in with what I was doing. Like he would sit there and be like, when a lot of the phase stuff is going down or anything with phase is going on, he'd be like, "Are you good? You good?" Like he would ask about specific, like, "Oh, Adapt's doing da da da." You know what I mean? Like he was just very tapped in. So when I have a memory of phase before last week, the whole phase situation, I would look back on and be a little sad. But now I look back on that whole time period as such a great time because my pops was so excited for me. He was just like he loved every second of it. He was so tapped in with everything that was going on. So when I think of the of phase now and that whole ordeal, I just look at it with a smile on my face because I had some of the best memories with my pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, and one of the things that hit me hard over the weekend that I screenshotted, somebody who worked with my dad DM me on Twitter, and this is what they said. He said, "I'm sorry to hear about your father. I work with your dad in Phoenix. He was a very nice man, always friendly, always smiling. Very few black people at the firm. He made it a point to come by my office when I was promoted to congratulate me. Just a good man. I'm sorry for your loss." And that's just like, that's literally my dad. Like that's just who he was, you know? I don't really know how to really navigate it right now. Like I just feel like for me, know, now I go back to what I know, which is making content, continue and keep going. You know, I think over the last week, I think this is what I've noticed. And anyone in the comments can let me know if you feel the same way. It's when you're around family or when you're around people and you're doing stuff, it doesn't hurt as bad. It's when it's very quiet, when you're by yourself. When I was by myself was when it would hit me the hardest. When nobody's around. You know, when I was around my family and stuff like that, like we're laughing, we're, you know what I'm saying, enjoying each other's company and things like that. But when it's quiet is when it was hitting. And like I said, with this YouTube video, I just turned the camera on. I don't want to sit here and upload a 50 Erie series and act like, you know, this is not bothering me. I want to be able to look back on this video in years time, because obviously my YouTube channel is almost like a time capsule. Like I can go back and watch how I was as a person, but I want this to be a video to really honor my pops, man, to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a genuine great father and my life will never be the same. And whoever's maybe watched this video, maybe you can relate to in some way. You know, if you lost your dad or a parent or guardian, someone you look up to, maybe you can relate in a way. Maybe this can help somebody heal in a way. And even if your dad watching this, I think it's very important. You know, like I said, I think the most important thing you can do for all the dads watching right now is, whether you're close to them or not, I think really like just a simple shit, like as far as just texting your son, "Yo, I love you." My dad would always say, "I love you. I'm proud to be here." Without fail, we could be arguing, we could be clashing heavy, and he would still send it every morning. And I think that's important, man. I think for me, I don't regret anything as far as what I could have done differently. Um, it's kind of weird. In my heart, in my soul, I don't know why the last couple years, every time me and my dad had a chance to have a talk or a dinner together with just me and him, I would just soak it up and I would just really enjoy the moment. Maybe as if I knew it was like he may not be here for that long, you know what I'm saying? But like I just knew, you know, him, my pops was 65, like, and he was in great shape. He was working out, perfectly healthy, no underlying problems. But for me, I just knew every time I was around him or anytime I would see him or talk to him, I would genuinely like try to sit there and be in a moment. Like it was like the last combo I would have, or maybe the last time I'll see him. And I did honestly, I don't feel that with really, I never really felt that type of like calling to feel like that besides my dad. I just felt like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I just thought of him getting older, like I had to savor every moment, but I didn't think it would be as sudden as it was. And I just felt obligated to make a video. For one, I feel like this helps me to really talk because these are all the thoughts that I had in my head over the whole weekend. And you know, it's hard to sit there and really talk to fam about it because it's like you start talking about it and everyone just breaks down. So it's, I think this is for me, this was more so like a good way to really talk about it. And my dad has been on the channel on the streams. Some of y'all have even met him. And honestly, he made me who I am today So I feel like this is like I gotta honor him in some way, you know. I want to brag about him, man. I want to make a video to just kind of just. So I want to ask people who are watching this video or whoever you look up to, when you see him, you know what I'm saying, just hug him a little tighter. You know, I've learned in life, everybody has their own race to run. Everyone is in their own life dealing with their own things. But I think whenever you are in the presence of people you genuinely love, enjoy it, man. Really be in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Really just understand. And one of the best things that I ever did, or conversations that I ever had with my dad, was, and shout out to Cutie Cinderella, because she really made me really think about this. There's certain things I didn't know about my pops that are very simple things that I had no idea. Your favorite song. You know what I mean? My dad's favorite song is Mary Jane by Rick James. He was the biggest Rick James fan of all time. And I played that song for like 8 hours straight in my headphones. And the song, I never got tired of the song because the song is so good. It's so good. So I would do things like that, man. Just if you're watching this video, really ask your, you know what I'm saying, people who you look up to, just details about themselves, man. You know, I think we take a lot of that for granted, getting to know someone. Like how you would meet someone like on a date. You know, you ask like a 90 questions. You know, in the last couple of years, I would sit there and ask my parents 90 different questions. Like when I turned 30, I actually have a picture of my dad when I was 30. You know what I mean? I would ask him, yo, how did you feel when you turned 30? Ma, how'd you feel when you turned 30? Like, what's some stories you guys have then? What'd you do? Like, just details about their lives, you know, and just really getting to know them, but just enjoying every moment. We all have our own race to run, and the end is obviously inevitable, but I think not only just enjoying every moment, but just being present for it, just telling them that you love them, you know, and you know, even I told my dad that every day. He told me that every day. And Pops, if you're watching this video, man, you know, I love you. I appreciate everything you did for me. You know, you made me who I am today. Whether you understood gaming or not, you didn't really know what was going on. But you just smiled every time you saw me. So I just want to thank you, Dad, for that. You know what I'm saying? The principles that you taught me, the way you raised me and my siblings. You was a great dad. And honestly, I wish we had more time. And for me, all I can do is honor him and keep going, you know, and keep going. And I hope, you know, this video, even if it helps one person, you know what I mean? I just wanted to get out and kind of just talk about it. You know, it didn't feel right for me to go through all those emotions, go through all that, and upload a 50 Eerie series. You know what I mean? This is a video I'm going to look back on in 5 years, 10 years, and kind of just see how things are. You know, I don't really, I mean, it's been over a week, you know, and life just keeps going. It just doesn't make any sense. It just keeps rolling, man. Again, Dad, if you're watching this, I love you. Don't worry, I got the family. I'll make sure they're all taken care of. Rest easy, because I know he was tired, man. My dad was tired. He worked 2 jobs for 30 plus years. You know what I'm saying? He was just tired, man. You know? He's resting now. He's in heaven. I guarantee God got a basketball with his name on it somewhere up there, you know. He loved basketball and he loved his Lakers. I appreciate anybody who watches this video. You know, I don't even know how many people will stay until the end. I got no clue. I just want to just really just talk, man. I just feel like this is something I had to do. I didn't feel like I just couldn't hop on stream and be like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, just felt odd, man, you know. So, like I said, I just asked for anybody who's watching this video. I would love to read your experience as far as like how you deal with it, how you go about it. I know it doesn't get any easier, you know, just anybody's experience in the comments. Anybody who's watching, man, just hug your pops a little tighter for me, man. It doesn't even feel real. Like I can't, if I'm being totally honest with y'all, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel real. I feel like I'm gonna get a text from my dad right now any second. Like, good morning, son. I just want to say I appreciate anybody who's ever watched me, watched my streams, supported me. You guys genuinely changed my life. And also, like, by you changing my life, you guys helped me like give my family, but also my dad, some of the greatest experiences a dad could see through his son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't have been able to do in Sports Illustrated. Like, we were hanging out with people from his favorite team, having conversations, dinners, taking him places he's never been before. He ain't been out the country, you know? So I appreciate you guys, man. And I mean, we just have to keep going. And appreciate y'all, man. Thank you.